You're listening to the Behind Ears podcast, because everybody does Disney differently. The Behind Ears podcast crew would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support. Expedition Roasters is the artisanal roaster of specialty Disney-inspired coffees. Why not brew some of the magic at your home? Some of our coffees include Skipper's Brew, Ghoulish Delight, Enchanted Tiki Coconut, Redhead Rum, and many other unique roasts. Our coffees are certified gluten and allergen-free and feature unique custom artwork by guest artists. Expedition Roasters offers an adventure in every bag. So start your adventure today by visiting us online at expeditionroasters.com. That's expeditionroasters.com. And Behind Ears listeners, be sure to take advantage of this exclusive offer and save 20% on your first purchase with code EARS20. That's EARS20 at expeditionroasters.com. Brew your happy place. Do you have a little one and don't want to bring your stroller from home? Have you destroyed a stroller in the past from all the wear and tear from a Disney vacation? Well, Kingdom Strollers is a great place to rent a great quality stroller at a reasonable price. Kingdom Strollers is a Disney-featured stroller provider, which means they will deliver it right to your resort, even if you're not there. Same thing for picking it up at the end of your trip. So if you're in need of an affordable stroller rental during your next Orlando trip, consider renting from a Disney-trusted stroller company. Visit kingdomstrollers.com for more information.
Well, is it over? I hit the unmute button, and all of a sudden you're singing that. I'm like, oh no, you might as well go ahead and do.
Oh, you know what? You know how we say we never record bloopers? Well, that's one for everybody. Danny, bring us into the show.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Ears podcast. I am the singing, babbling man, Uncle Danny, the man that can't keep his composure at the moment. That is Mr. Chris. Sir, when you're done giggling, how are you?
I'm crying over here. I'm laughing so hard. I haven't accidentally hit the wrong button like that in a long time. You know what?
Perfect time to hit the wrong button.
We've always said this. We keep saying this. I don't care. We are always going to be an unscripted, unedited show, and we are just so glad that you guys are here. We hope that you're getting a laugh out of this, no matter if you're watching via our live stream here on Tuesday night on the 24th of April, or whether or not you're listening to this later via podcast format. It is so good that you get to join us, the coolest two guys on streaming and podcasting alive. Yes. Am I overselling it a little bit? No, I don't think so. I just think that it's quite a day. And I am just glad that everybody is here today. Danny, how are you doing, man?
It's Tuesday. I'm alive. I'm singing like a champ. American Idol, here I come, representing the BTEP.
You know, okay. Seriously, would have tried doing the American Idol experience thingy over at Hollywood Studios?
I know my voice sounds like two cats fighting in a garbage bag. I'm not. I know where my voice lies, but I think it's beautiful, beautiful high notes.
Two cats fighting in a garbage bag?
I don't know. It just sounds like it'd be just a messy sound.
Man,
that's plastic.
That's funny, man. And you know what? It just goes to show we may not necessarily always be on time, but people need to be here because they're gonna see these kinds of things happen. You know, Danny, wow, has it been a few crazy days between work, you know, into real life, real life, me recovering from, you know, falling off a ladder. Oh yeah, you didn't hear that story yet, but
no.
Yeah, I totally messed up my hand. Yeah, it was great. I told everybody that story over a small coffee break on Sunday on how I pretty much bounced as I fell off a ladder in my garage. That was a lot of fun. But you know what? I am just glad to be here because it just means we're further away from Monday and closer to Friday. I know it sounds kind of weird, but let's talk a little bit about some of the weird and interesting things going on. First off, Did you get to see some of the pictures and stuff from the Earth Day / 20th anniversary celebration over at Animal Kingdom this past weekend on Sunday?
I dabbled a little bit. I've been, as you could tell for anybody who listens to the podcast, whether how you're listening to this, I haven't released a show in 2 days. I've just been working my tail off. Good things coming our way, especially for the show. A little more time will be freed up, but I was able to see. I love the maps. Did you see the special edition, like tan color maps they gave out? I mean, it's just your typical map. There's nothing, extraordinary about it, except like they just changed the design. I thought that was really nice. A little cool, a different take on things. I know we have a couple hopefully coming our way soon, from a couple people who represent us down there. And the food looked phenomenal.
That is one thing I will say. I didn't catch everything. I did see some of the pictures of the maps. That looked really cool. We got to make sure we don't necessarily go down the food path right away, because we're going to talk about some free dining stuff here in a minute. But the fact is, I saw some of the chow and I was like, wow. Seriously, whenever they have some of those special events, you can't look at Facebook feeds hungry. Just can't. Yeah. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy insane on what they can or cannot do. I just think it's really actually pretty awesome. I know that Alex, one of our admins over at the WDW community page, did a little bit of a self-made trip report last night, which was really good. She kind of elaborated on a bit what was going on. Go on and over to the WDW community page. Take a look at her video from that yesterday. She gave a really good account of what she did. She actually got to meet Joe Rohde, which I just totally
fanboyed over.
Totally jelly over here. But that was actually really cool. I saw a lot of people got to meet Joe. I will tell you, he is one person I know I would love to meet. I thought it was an honor also meeting Marty Sklar a couple years ago before he passed. I would also love to meet another Disney legend, so to speak, because he was instrumental in Animal Kingdom's creation.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And when I mean instrumental, I mean Animal Kingdom would not be here if it wasn't for Joe Rohde. And
it's not even an understatement. That's not even, he had a huge role in how it was. No, without him, you would not have that gate.
No, I mean, I totally agree with that. And, the thing is I know that some people actually don't care for Animal Kingdom, and I'm cool with that. Everybody does Disney differently, right? And, the fact of the matter is Animal Kingdom really does have a really cool place in the family of parks, so to speak. And we talked a little bit about that at last Thursday's show and some of the things that, what we liked, what we didn't like about the park itself. But let's just face it, that park is going to continue to evolve throughout the next 20 years. And I'm just really happy to see a lot of the really cool videos, a lot of really cool pictures, descriptions of what's going on. Can't wait to read more about it as people come home from their vacations and post more from it. And I think that is absolutely really cool.
Let me watch how I phrase this. It wasn't as busy as I thought it would be. From what I saw, I was not there, but from the pictures I was able to see and the videos I was able to watch, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Some of the pictures that I saw, I mean, it was like people at rope drop and stuff like that. And it was completely, jam-packed type of thing. But after you got in, it really wasn't too bad, from what I can tell. Maybe somebody who's there could actually tell us a little bit more, but I personally think that it didn't seem quite as congested busy as, say, the opening of Pandora. Mm-hmm. That was the epitome. That was Times Square on New Year's Eve busy.
And I think Toy Story is going to beat that. And I think Star Wars is going to make all of this like a walk in the park.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna saying this as a. I'm not gonna say this as a kind of a derailment, but I am gonna say this. I don't even know if I'm going to try to get the Galaxy's Edge the year it opens in 2019. I don't even think I'm going to try. I very well may skip it and then come back another time. I don't know. That's my guess. I don't want to say that, but I'm just anticipating some pretty solid crowds. But,
I mean, unless Disney invites us there, there's no way I'm going for opening day. It's gonna be a madhouse.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an absolute madhouse. Let's listen. We got a lot of people tuned in, a lot of first timers. Let's just get to the point here. What everybody wants to see and hear about, and that's Uncle Danny got the Toy Story Magic Band.
You did?
Yeah, I have a little secret admirer, and she came over the other day and she's like, "Hey, I got a surprise for you." It's my girlfriend. Sorry. I should probably reiterate that before people are like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, I got a surprise. And she got me the Toy Story Magic Band.
Oh, that is so cool looking.
I'll take some better pictures of it when I take it out of the casing. And I was so pumped about getting it. And now I'm so torn when I go back.
You don't want to open
which
it up,
one to wear.
You don't want to open it up, do you?
No, not yet. I definitely want to keep it in the package for now. But I love my Tower of Terror one.
Yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
Oh, because I mean, you know what? I think a lot of people are going to have this one in the beginning. The Tower of Terror one, you don't see. Very seldom have I seen that in the park. So I'm so torn, but I guess that's the wonderful thing about Magic Bands. You can just link them all up and I can just wear different ones every day. But no, let's seriously get on to the topic of what everybody came here to listen to. And this is the breaking news of the day.
Don't have the thing lined up. So old school.
Is he stalling?
No, I just did. Forget it.
So that is the free dining. Before we give it any opinions, anybody gives any feedback, let's break this down. I could break it down 1, 2, 3. Basically what you need to do is I'm going to read what Disney is telling you. Savor the chance of experience of an unforgettable stay in the middle of the magic. Enjoy a free dining plan when you purchase pay attention, a non-discounted 5-night 6-day Magic Your Way package that includes a room at a select Disney Resort hotel and a ticket with a park hopper. Book through July 7th for arrivals. Okay. And I'll go through the dates in a second here. But if you are staying at a value or a moderate, what they are offering is a free Disney quick service dining. Quick service is 2 snacks, refillable mug, and 1 table service.
No. So, no table service.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. I messed that up. That's just a 2 quick service.
Right.
The Disney dining plan is only for Disney Deluxe and Villa Resorts. And that is your sit-down credit, including the quick service, 2 snacks, refillable drink,
and that's
alcoholic beverage.
That's a big difference. That is a big difference compared to in the past. Yeah, because, before moderates used to get the regular dining plan, the values were the ones that were getting the quick service. Hey, folks, that's something you really need to stop and think about, because if you've done something like this in the past, don't automatically think, mentally, accidentally think, oh, I want to go stay at one of the moderate resorts. I'm automatically going to get the regular dining plan. Nope, it's quick service. Now you can go ahead and upgrade at, the incremental cost increase, but you still got to remember, if you've done it before, it's changed. But Nicole's basically mentioned, that's how it was the last 2 years before. But you know what? It's been a while since I've done it, and there may be some people that still think that it's one and not the other. So kind of got to just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Just be warning. Be warning.
Me personal, if you stay at the Deluxe. And maybe you can argue, okay, not the Deluxe, but at least the Deluxe Villa Resorts, because you are paying full rack price for those rooms. Mm-hmm. To me, you should get the Deluxe dining plan.
The Deluxe dining plan?
Dude, those rooms are not cheap. Those rooms are not cheap, especially a full rack. no discounts anywhere, you're talking minimum $750, $800 a night.
Oh,
minimum.
I mean, especially for some of the peak times, I certainly don't disagree. Especially since also, you know what? Okay. I realize we're getting a little scatterbrained here, but let me throw this out. Some people right first off this morning were making a big stink over this because there's like no dates in October.
Oh, it's funny you say that. So if you book now through July 7th, these are your valid travel dates. August 20th through September 29th. So you're basically getting the last 2 weeks of August, well, last week and a half of August, and basically the entire month of September.
Most of it.
Then you get, this is it, November 24th through November 27th. You're getting 3 days in November, nothing in October. And then December 7th through December 23rd, where I think if you could take vacation any time of year and you love the free dining and this is it, that December is when I'm taking it because the rest of the dates don't make sense.
Completely agree. In fact, I was just asking someone over, I can't remember, I don't have my other screen up right now, but over at the WDW community page was kind of asking about, what's it like after Thanksgiving. And I actually think the few weeks, first couple weeks in December, prime time to go. It's prime time to go. And some people say, well, there might be some cheerleaders or Pop Warner or things like that. Yeah, but you want to know something? That doesn't really impact your park volume at all. It may impact some of your either availability or maybe some noise levels at some of the values. But generally speaking, it's nothing. I mean, it's really just a drop in the bucket.
So before we go into any of this, and I know, Chris, we both have a lot of opinions on it.
Sure.
I want to start with a little public service announcement, a.k.a. Uncle Dan is going to go on a rant here for a minute.
I'll just chill out for a minute.
Okay. People need to understand that whether the free dining fits for you, fits for that person, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It is not the original free dining that we saw back in the early 2000s. And people forget why Disney offered free dining to even start with. People forget 9/11 attacks. People were afraid to fly. The tourism business took a major hit. Go back and research in the early 2000s what Disney stock cost. I'll give you a few seconds. It was, you're going to kick yourself that you didn't buy Disney stock in the early 2000s. I was lucky enough to buy the Disney stocks before it hit the triple digits. Now, to buy in, you're only going to be able to, most people only get in a couple shares. They were giving away free dining to entice people to get over that fear of getting back on that plane and flying down there and spending money. So what better way to have people come to your location is to offer them free food. Great and dandy. Free dining was there for that. And it helped boost it. Then you saw it change and go away and come back. And then people are always, and I'm going to say this very kindly, and I'm sure someone's going to snip this, and I'm going to be on a YouTube rant one of these days. Stop putting your hands out for free things. People, it's not gimme the free, give me the free. It's not free. It's never been free. You've always paid for it. At the end of the day, oh, I got free dining. No, you didn't, because you paid for the no discounted room. And if you want to go, you need a 6-day hopper. What happens if you're an AP member? I saw people say that. Well, if I'm an AP member, this doesn't work for me, or I'll just go buy the ticket. Why would you buy a 6-day hopper? I heard all of the rigmarole today about you can extend it, you can add it to your AP, you could do this, you could do that. At the end of the day, you're AP, so you don't have that added cost at every trip. So at the end of the day, why would you buy 6 days to get free food? End of rant. Just do your math. It works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody. Let's go into it now.
Okay, so the interesting part to it is that it was right after, it was like 2001, 2002, I started going to Disney. And it wasn't until after, like you said, it wasn't until after the whole 9/11 thing that they actually start offering the free dining. And the thing is back then that free dining was actually a very good value because it was different. It was, first off, it was like in the 30s in the sense of cost wise. It included, for your table services, it actually included appetizer, entree, dessert, drink, and gratuity. 18% automatically added, given to people. Okay. So it was a huge difference. And the fact is that, okay, the fact is, let's say, I think it was like $35, and it was less for kids, obviously. It was a complete money saver. I mean,
it was a steal back then.
It was a steal. It was an absolute, especially if you include the gratuity, which is not included now, big time steal. So, but you're right. They did those types of things to bring people in. Back then, you had to have a minimum of a 1-day ticket, 1-day base ticket in order to do it. Okay, not a big deal, because even if you had tickets, you can hold on to it and it never expired. And people would use it later. People would use it towards APs, the whole shot. That really wasn't that bad, especially if you were going to get 6 or 7 days longer of food. Prices of the rooms were also a lot different. Big
Pop
differential.
Century wasn't open.
I mean, it was a big differential and a whole bunch of cost. Over time, the program has slowly changed. Okay. You know what? The Disney Nerds podcast, they do a stream right before we do. And I listen to them. They listen to us. And, they were kind of talking about this very same thing. And I am going to give them credit, because I'm going to tell everybody like what they were saying. Nowadays, and I'll even say up to this point, things have changed. The dining plan was, for free, was actually brought in to bring the crowds in, like you said. They definitely don't need that enticement now. And that's a real big thing. So now we're looking at anywhere between 4 and 5 day park hopper tickets, depending on the package that you get. Because as Aaron Rittmaster from Mouse Master Travel, he and I got into a conversation, because I kind of asked this question, because I saw a few different things over at the WDW community page. A lot of conversations over at the page today. And the thing of it is that it was, he basically said there was a couple different types of packages, and it really varied on what packages you were going to get. He really wasn't paying too much attention to which one. He was just trying to save his guests, the most money possible. But like, for example, if you look at the Disney Visa card holder site, but for their perks, it is a 5-day hopper pass that you have to buy. It is a 5-day or a 5-night, 6-day package that you have to buy. There are certain dates that are actually there just for Disney Visa card holders. So there's a couple different things out there, but why would you want to, basically buy tickets to use them later? You're kind of giving Disney a free loan, if you think about it. And heaven forbid something happens when you don't, you forget you have them, or something to that extent. AP holders, DVC members, a lot of times they'll do Tables in Wonderland instead, because it turns out to be a better value for them. So
Tables of Wonderland, man, I'll tell you, that was my biggest mistake of 2017.
Well, you were there so stinking much, dude. You should have had Tables in Wonderland. Yep. You would have done it. The thing of it is that free dining does have its place. Danny, the thing is, you and I have not said yet through here, it's not worth it. But
it's just like anything else. It's got to be worth it for you.
Yeah, it's not an automagic thing. Now the thing is, here's a great example. Let's say you have a family of 4 going. You're staying at a moderate, and you're going to pay full rack rate. Let's say 3 out of the 4 people staying are considered adults. You're going to probably get a much better deal by doing free dining, as long as you still use free dining to your advantage. If you waste credits, or use them at places that have relatively low monetary equivalent value, you're not necessarily going to get as much value over it, and your savings may differ. If you're a single person, or if you're only 2, say a couple going, and you're staying at, say, a deluxe resort, you may not necessarily even break even compared to what may be available for, a room discount. You kind of have. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. You were talking. I shouldn't talk over you.
Yeah, I mean, free. I was actually just about ready to say this. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Jimmy just mentioned it. Free dining is still the best deal if you're staying at a value and most likely moderates. I tend to agree. Again, it kind of depends on your traveling party.
And that was just what I was cutting in to say.
Yeah.
Values, I could see where the, no pun intended, the value is.
Yeah.
I get that. Moderates, man, moderate is very
Well, again, they have it so it's quick service. And the thing is, I mean, that to me is where you have to really make some choices, because there are some really good quick service meals and stuff like that. But, and I've said it before, there are some awesome quick service meals out there that are actually on the pricier side that you can get a lot of really good value for it. But you have to do the math. Yeah. And it's what it
comes down to is just crunching some numbers. Because like Jimmy said, I think we're all in agreement. Value, more than likely, I mean, what do you lose in a day? Maybe $20-$30 with, a discounted room compared to a non-discounted room. I think it's, I wouldn't call it a no-brainer, but more than likely, I'd say if you're staying at a value, go ahead, get the free dining. Why not? Moderate's when you're going to have to break out the calculator and really start scratching your noodle a little bit. Deluxe, to me, I wouldn't touch it. I've seen people get $200 discounts on rooms.
Yeah,
you're not spending that a day in food. But you have people like Nicole Orr, big listener to the show. We do a lot of work with her. I buy the tickets and use it towards my AP renewal.
Yeah.
For our family, free dining this year saved us $1,400.
Excellent.
And I'll have the cost of the ticket to go towards my AP versus paying the full amount on it.
And for her, that's a great situation. Not everybody has that ability or, insight to do it, or, knows what kind of trips they're going to have in the future. Because I know a couple other people were saying, I don't have the money to do that. I'm just going to continue using my AP. And that's fine too. So it's just one of those cases. Here's also the other thing. If you have, this has always got me. If you have someone who's a tween who doesn't necessarily eat adult-sized portions, they're still going to be charged as an adult for that meal package. If you're an adult that sometimes eats kids' meals because it's smaller, maybe you're not a big eater, you're still going to get those credits are still going to be charged, as an adult. The fact of the matter is that if you have some variances in how you eat and how your family eats, the fact of the matter is that you have to do some more math. And generally speaking, if you're a person that, you're not a big eater, I've always said the dining plan is not going to be for you. If you're the family that wants to, be flexible as to when, where, how you eat, or you don't feel like making ADRs, it's probably not for you. I always think it's kind of a kick in the pants. When my son was, 10 and 11, having to pay for an adult meal at, Garden Grill, and he wasn't interested in the adult stuff. So they brought him kids meal stuff. But the fact of the matter is I'm still paying adult rate for it. And the fact of the matter is you can't split people on the reservation. It's all or nothing. So you kind of have to just have to see how it goes. I still think it works well for some people. But the thing is that this is one of those cases. You ever hear that phrase? You never want to use the terms always and never. When it comes to discuss, this is one of those cases, and it's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of calculation. I was going to not say matter of fact. I was going to say it's a matter of calculation. How does it work for you and your family? And you know what? Great travel agents will help you figure that out, in my opinion. Because if you're not happy with it, then you're not going to be. It's going to be something tainting your Disney experience. My other comment to it is this: if you think you're on the edge, if you think you're right on the line, you might as well pay out of pocket. Because that way, if anything happens, it's in your favor, and you can choose what you want to do.
I saw a couple of people breaking down some math here, so I decided to do my own little math.
Sure.
Taking the 7th to the 12th of December, going to Grand Floridian, standard room rate, you're paying $826. So tell me that Disney dining plan is going to pay the difference in that room rack. It's not. Now you have people like Jimmy who says, okay, the room discount on a value, $27 per night. Hands down. That's like me and Chris, and we agreed with Jimmy. $27 a night. I eat more than $27 a day in food when I'm in Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you're pushing it to the moderate. $56 per night in hotel saving. That's where you're kind of going, wait a minute. Now, if you're one person, no, you don't know. It's quick service. You're not eating $56.
Two people, you're about to break even, maybe a little bit better. You're a little bit better break even. But again, if you have 3 or 4 people, you're going to get you're going to get a good value. You're not going to get a great value compared to that value resort, but you're going to get a good value. You're probably going to save about 50% on your food costs just by doing something like that. It's, versus, saving 65, 70% if you're at a value doing that sort of thing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, people said, I save $600, I save $800, you still got to pay for food. Yes, but at the end of the day, Disney is not cheap. Disney is expensive. Disney is one of the more expensive vacations that families are taking. We all hear every day, every time Disney changes the price of something, about how Disney is pricing out the average Joe. So they offer things like this. And at the end of the day, yes, you are 100% right. When it comes to a value, I think whether you're one person or 7 people in one room, you're making hand over fist. Moderate, me personally, I think you need more than 2 people in the room. I think 2, you're breaking even. 3, you're saying, hey, look at that. Even if you save $6 a day, it's still $6 a day, people. Be excited about that. I think when you start getting into deluxes is where I don't see that breakdown. And I will put, I don't have a lot of money in my wallet right now. I'd say I put all my money in my wallet. I'll put all the cobwebs in my wallet up front right now and tell you that a lot of these people who are saving these big time money is not staying in a deluxe or deluxe villa. That's just my personal, that's just from the honest research I've done all day as a travel agent and the honest research I've done as a podcast host. I just don't see the value in staying at, the Poly and getting this dining plan. You're going to save more money on a hotel. But hey, if a customer came to me or Chris, you came and said, hey, listen, what do you think? I'm going to tell you my God honest truth. But at the end of the day, you do what you want to do. I'll book you. Whatever makes you happy. But I know a lot of people, man, I don't want to harp on it, but I know a lot of people were very upset with Disney's internet this morning. Everybody was crashing.
It was kind of funny you even say that because it's like, people were posting links and stuff up there, and a lot of people got, Stitch ate the page. When is Stitch going to finally get full? He's been eating that page for hours.
That was a good one. I forgot what, so I would love to give credit where credit's due. That one was funny, though.
I saw that. You're right. I can't remember who it is, and we always try to give credit where credit is due. That one was pretty funny. And there were a couple other things, and, everybody, travel agents, independent people trying to go and get their reservations changed. I mean, it was a pretty big deal. Some people were on hold for 2 and 3 hours. And, hey, you know what? If people saved a lot of money, let's face it, there are people that are reported have saved them $1,000 or more. That ain't crap change. I get it. And you know what?
Yes.
But that's real money. But again, it depends on how you do Disney. That is really the case in point. And again, we're not knocking it. We're not saying it's not worth it. That's just our mantra. You got to check it out for yourself.
See, like Nicole says, where are you eating for less than $56 a day? Me and my girlfriend, if we went to Disney tomorrow, can eat in plenty of places for less than $56 a day
per person.
Because you don't no, together.
Really?
Bro, you don't have to be bougie.
Now you say you don't want to be bougie. The other day you're saying you're all about the bougie.
I mean, I'm always bougie, but I'm just saying, if you told me, hey, be on a budget, me and her could eat less than $56. All right, you're telling me for $11 a piece, we'll call it 13 because we're going to get drinks. So it's $26. You can't go to the Tangerine Cafe in Epcot in Morocco and be full walking out of there.
It's kind of interesting. I don't disagree. If you ate a minimum amount of food, and I say a minimum, not so you're hungry or anything, but if you can actually have, since we'll do the equivalent. Okay, we'll do the equivalent of the quick serve. It's, 2 quick serve, 2 snacks, refillable mug.
The snacks is where you're going to break it, depending on the snacks you get.
Yeah.
To me, that snacks are the breaking point.
The thing is that, the snacks themselves, a lot of people think, oh, it's only going to be a value of $4 to $5 a piece. And you know what? That's a good average. But there are times where you can actually use those snacks for something bigger. A lot of times, I always ask, hey, can I use this for a snack credit? Because it may not necessarily be, explicitly listed, as a snack on the menu. Okay, but where was I coming from that? The fact is that, you can easily eat a nice meal, $12 to $14. Do that twice, it's $28. Say your snacks are $5. Okay, that's $38. Plus that refillable mug. Hey, you know what? It's $20 for that refillable mug. I usually say divide that across how many days you're going to be there anyway. So let's call it a 5 day, since you have to buy a 5-day ticket, 5 days there anyway. So, it's $4. So you're just over $40 worth of value for a quick serve. It's if you do it right, you're breaking even. Of course, don't forget, you still have to buy a third meal if you're that kind of person. And I was talking to my friend Sherry. We went out to dinner. Our families went out to dinner today, and she's like, we were talking about this very topic, and she's like, all I really want is a good, I think she said, she's like a cup of coffee and something, like a piece of fruit or something in the morning. She's like, I'll snack, I'll have a churro, or I'll have a thing of popcorn or something in the middle of the day. And she goes, no, I'll go have myself a nice meal, some kind of, counter service meal in the afternoon. She could actually really get away cheaply on, without the dining plan. But that's how she eats, She eats that way and she's thin. I eat my way. Yeah, you get this.
All right, so let me do this real quick.
Yeah.
Say you're staying at Pop. I always get the bounty platter. So bounty platter is just a crap load of food for $11.
You could split that between 2 people.
But no, just say you're a big burly man like me, and you want your own bounty platter. Don't touch my food. Danny doesn't share food. Anybody watches Friends, they'll know that reference. All right, so that's $11 a pop. All right, that's $22. 2 coffees, $3 a piece from Pop. That's $6. So you're at $28. What did I tell you before? $23 from Tangerine Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
So what were we at? 23, and what was it? 26. So you're at $49. 2 snacks. Now I know people are saying the wine and food festival, but I was also basing this trip off of December. So you got to remember that there's no wine and food festival in December. So let's say Mickey bar is $5 a pop. Right there, you're, like I said, you could almost be at that breaking even point at 2 people. So my point is valid. If you have the third person, it makes a lot of sense. 2 people, kind of, depending on how you eat, and I didn't give you small meals, people. I gave you 2 places. I just know how to bargain eat, where I can get a lot of food for the lowest cost. I basically put you right at around that $55 to $60 range.
Yeah. And the thing is that
no, it's 2 quick services. The breakfast and the lunch. That's the breakfast and the dinner. That's 2 quick services.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was answering a question.
No, okay. So yeah, I mean, it really kind of just depends. Now the thing is that here's my take. If you're going to use any of the dining plans, take advantage of it. Take advantage of some of the great places that are out there. Like you mentioned, the Tangerine Cafe. It's a little more expensive. You're not getting your average ordinary stuff. Take advantage of it. It's going to be really good. If you're going to be on the dining plan for, the regular dining plan where you have a table service in there, please don't use a dining credit over at like Beaches and Cream. That's just a waste. To me, that's a waste of a credit. If you're just going to go get a burger and fries somewhere, don't bother using a credit. Go get yourself the steak. Go get yourself the thing that is the most expensive, the item on the menu at a 1 credit, non signature dining place, or do something special and different. What are you thinking?
Read that comment.
I can't wait to move to Central Florida someday so I don't have to pull out an abacus to plan trips.
That's so true.
Aaron, you win the
quote of the day.
The quote of the day. Do me a favor. Just because of that, PM me your address. I'm sending you something. It's as simple as that, bro. Seriously, PM me. Send me your address. I know I've sent you stuff before. I'm sending you something. Please do. That is awesome. I love that. I'm just going to do that. Yeah. So the thing is that, go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy the meals. Okay. Don't skimp on it. Get the best use out of it as possible. I think you owe it to yourself. But I know it sounds like we're really harping on it, and it's not. It's not. I think it's one of those things where I'm really glad it can save some people money in how they do it. As I think it's harder for pass holders and pass holders, locals, those who are DVC members. I think it's because DVC members don't get free dining ever. As I said, pass holders, DVC members, cast members, they're all stuck with, either paying out of pocket or Tables in Wonderland. And, here's the thing with Tables in Wonderland. This is just simple math. I think, what is it? If you spend, Krudskis, what was it? I had this number all figured out. It's something like if you spend $375, I think, on dining, you're going to break even. And that's not too hard to do.
Yeah.
But I have to agree. There is something to be with what Jimmy said. There is something to be said about, the convenience and not having to worry about it. And that is very true. And at the same time, people who have the Disney Visa card that actually get 6 months interest free on their packages, it's all included.
Is that all the time?
Yeah, you can do that anytime.
Really?
Yeah.
I just got the Disney. I was so mad. I did all the fun things I wanted. I should have done last year. I did them all this year. But I just got that card. Super pumped.
Yeah, you get 6 months 0%. And the fact of the matter is that some people like it. In fact, my neighbors, same neighbors I was talking about before, they actually like that because they wanted to basically pay like an all-inclusive thing. It's like going on a cruise. You walk in with $5 in your pocket, you walk out with $5 in your pocket. Some people really like that convenience, to help maintain a certain budget. Hey, great. But you still have to use it. That's the thing. Yeah. You still have to use it. It's like if you're going to drive a Lamborghini through the city of Chicago downtown, you could have done that with a Prius. So
I know we have a few minutes left here. I want to get off that topic because I don't want to beat a dead horse. Do the math. Is you okay with moving on topics on that one?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to touch on?
Oh, go for it.
I'm a little upset that Disney would announce the lineup for the 2018 E2B concert and fill it with TBDs. Did somebody back out? Did you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dates they don't have anybody for? And you might be like, hey, that's petty. And maybe it is. And it's not Tom Petty. No, it's just me being petty. I was just shocked that they would release it. I would assume something had to happen for them to do that.
I didn't actually see that yet. You're obviously got a little bit of a scoop on it from me. So that's kind of interesting that they would do that. I mean, even when Summerfest announced their full schedule, they did the whole thing all at one time. Who knows? But the thing is, here's the deal. When is the Eat to the Beat series? Like what month?
Well, it starts in August. So I've got the concert pulled up right here. They got some decent names coming in. August 30th and 31st is Blue October, Into the Ocean. The 1st and 3rd of September is Tiffany. I think we're alone now.
Oh my gosh. Tiffany, are you serious? She's still singing? Awesome.
This is really some awesome stuff. September 4th to the 5th, Mercy Me. I Can Only Imagine. This is a new one.
I know
I'm sorry, again.
I'll say I know of them.
Okay. The 6th and 7th, Glass Tiger, Don't Forget Me When I'm
Oh
Gone.
my gosh.
Um,
Flashback.
8th and 9th, Torrin Wells, Hills and Valleys.
Who?
Torrin Wells. 10th and 11th, Postmodern Jukebox. Then we have the 12th to the 13th is a TBD. The 14th to the 16th is Baha Men, Who Let the Dogs Out. I can't believe they're still performing.
Oh,
they have one song. What else they got?
Yeah, they are a one-hit wonder, very much like Achy Breaky Heart. So
the 17th and the 19th also to be determined. The 20th and 21st is Living Color, Cult of Personality.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
22nd.
Wait. Is that who was that? Is it In Living Color or is it called Cult of Personality? Like, is it a cover band?
It says Living Color and then in parentheses Cult of Personality.
Okay, that must be the.
I'm assuming these are in parentheses. The second thing I'm saying is the song that they're most known for.
For a minute, I was hoping it wasn't some kind of cover band doing like Cult of Personality because that wouldn't do that justice. That's such a kick butt song.
The 24th to the 26th is Sugar Ray, Every Morning. That's going to be that one. I would consider flying out to see Sugar Ray. The 17th through the 28th. So this is a long stretch here. David Cook, Light On.
Who?
David Cook.
No, who?
29th to the 30th is Jeffrey Osborne, On the Wings of Love. The 1st and the 2nd, we are now into October. We have the Sacred Hearts, Various Hits. The 3rd and the 4th, Everclear, Santa Monica. 5th and 7th, Mark Wills, 19 something. 8th to the 10th, Air Supply, All Out of Love. And then the 11th to the 14th is All to Be Determined. And I think that this next one, the 15th and the 16th of October, will be bumping. We have 98 Degrees, Give Me Just One Night. 17th and the 18th, 38 Special, Hold On Loosely.
There you go.
19th to the 21st, Devin Allman Project, Ragged and Dirty. The 22nd through the 23rd is To Be Determined. This is another one. Wow. I got to fly down there. That's right. 24th to the 25th. Billy Ocean, Get Out of My Dreams. Oh, I love Billy Ocean.
Are you serious? You're a Billy Ocean fan?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of my dreams. Get into my car. Sorry, I'll stop that now.
26th and 28th. Starship featuring Mickey Thomas, We Built This City.
We built this city.
This city on rock.
Listen, I cannot. Anytime I hear that song, I still think of the version from the movie Rock of Ages.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
There you go. We'll just leave it at that. It's awesome.
Another big one I think is, I think they've done this before. I'm 95% sure they were here last year and it was still a big deal. Halloween, the 29th to the 31st of October. Hanson, also known for the 1st to the 2nd of November, To Be Determined. The 3rd to the 4th, we are now into November, obviously. Taylor Dane, Prove Your Love. Man, they're going out with a bang here. Ready for this?
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me just liking odd music. 5th to the 7th, Boys to Mend, End of the Road. 8th to the 9th, The Hooters, And We Danced. And the end. Right, the Hooters were good.
Oh, yeah.
The 10th to the 12th, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Go Daddy-O. Oh, that's how you end it. You end it with a bang. And this, once again, is the 23rd year running. Will run from August 30th to November 12th at the Eat to Beat. And it is included for free with park admission.
There you go. There you go. I mean, well, I'll admit, I still have the general thought process that, the only good music made in the past 50 years was between the years of 1982 and 1992. But that's a pretty solid lineup. And I think that's going to be really pretty slick. So
Chris brings up a good point that it wasn't as good as the Flower and Garden lineup. I don't know, man. You got some heavy hitters. It depends on your taste in music. They've got some heavy hitters.
That's the thing. You can't, I joke around about not liking some of the music or some of the musicians or bands or stuff like that are, in that list, but that's just my genre of music. I mean, give me some good 38 Special, give me some stuff from the early 80s. There are a lot of one-hit wonders, it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, you're right, Jen. The line hits me right in the childhood. I can't say that tonight, but I'm not going to be around. Okay. I'm not going to be around directly during that. I still am going to be down there sometime between tomorrow and Christmas, as we all know, but I'm not going to be around for at least most of that. I'll just say that.
Fair enough.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
I've never seen Air Supply.
I may have to go down there. I may have to go there just to go see Air Supply because my wife would probably really like it. And if I can get my wife to like something like that, then it's automatically guaranteed a trip.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
I like Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. Yeah.
I like what he's. I think this might be his third or fourth year closing it. Might be even more. Maybe I'm wrong. I
feel bad. I feel bad for Tiffany.
Okay? Why?
Well, okay. Everybody says that she's a one-hit wonder, and okay, truth be told, she is. I still have her original CD. It was one of the very first CDs I ever had when CD players first came out. Yeah, it's that old, and it still works. And so the fact of the matter is that everybody knows Tiffany from I Think We're Alone Now, which is a remake of a song. It wasn't even an original song. And, it was like the only song on there. It was the only song on there that people really remembered. And she came up with a follow-up album or two that just no one remembered. It was bad that no one remembered them, but you look back at them later and she had some really good songs, but there are a lot of one-hit wonders on there. Like example, In Living Color. Everybody already automatically thinks of Cult of Personality. No one thinks that's it. No one else thinks of any other songs from them, but they are an awesome band. It's as simple as that. Go for it.
I'm not a musician. But 98 Degrees, man. You went from selling out arenas. You went from selling out multi-thousand seat arenas, and you're now singing at Beats to Eat concert at Epcot, which seats like, what do you think that seats? If you could jam everybody in, I don't know. It's tough to tell because there's a lot of standing room in the back. I don't want to take a number because I think I'm going to be way off on it.
Probably.
I don't know, man. That's crazy to think, though, that, we all look back and whether we were children or we were younger or it's music that our parents listened to, whatever the case is, and you just think of these people like Hanson. Think about it. I'm not a Hanson fan, but Hanson was the bee's knees. Hanson was literally the cool side of the pillow for a long time.
I'll tell you right now, I hated the song Bop, but I loved the song Where's the Love.
Yeah, but Bop was so catchy.
Oh no, it was. Listen, I would actually rather listen to a stuck record playing It's a Small World than listening to Bop. It's as simple as that.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy to think that one time these people were literally like Boys to Men. I mean, girls had these posters of these bands up on their wall. I mean, maybe guys too. I don't know, but
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at how you said that. The look on your face was really funny.
I mean, I was not, one of those, but if you did, think about that. And now you can go see them for a park admission. It's just crazy, the music industry, man, how one day you are just cool, the cat's meow. And now, I mean, not that you're a nobody, you're still getting paid. God bless you. I mean, you're not really working like the average Joe is, but it's just crazy to think, man, some of these people were so big.
But you know what? They have a really great lineup for this year. And I can't wait to hear where some of the TBDs, get filled in. Obviously, we'll let everybody know what's going on with them, and we'll do our little musical commentary. Obviously, Danny and I have some different tastes in music, but overall, here I will admit something. I do think that if you're down there for any of the concert series, for any of the festivals, take time to actually listen to something, even if it's something that you've never heard before, because I think that's also part of the reason why they have a lot of these different artists. You may actually like some of this music, and that's going to spark some sales for them. You're going to end up enjoying some really good music, and it's included. Take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to just listen to some of it. Just really super enjoy some live music. Listen, I'm the kind of person, I like almost any music live. I mean, I remember going to an Aerosmith concert, and the Black Crowes opened for them one time, and they completely reeked. It was right when they first became a band. And then later on, they became really good. And then, I liked them after that, but sometimes you just never know. Later on in life, you're going to actually hear some stuff. You're like, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So.
All right, take us away.
You got it. You heard the show, and we hope you want more. Well, feel free to join us over at our social media platforms. Instagram and our Facebook page can be found at Behind the Ears Podcast. Our webpage is behindtheearspodcast.net, and our email is behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. And our Twitter handle is @BehindTheEarsPC. And come and join the conversation about all things Disney over at the WDW community page. Don't forget to rate and review the show over at iTunes or Apple Podcasts, as it really helps us get the word out about the show. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or the Podbean app. Also, you can listen to us on Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and via Alexa and Google Home.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Ears Podcast, this Tuesday edition. Well, we are one day closer to Friday, but even one day closer to the next Behind the Ears Podcast show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We hope you all have a wonderful evening. I am Uncle Danny. I'm out of here.
And I'm Mr. Chris. Hey, thanks a lot for joining. We love you guys, and we really appreciate all your support, appreciate all the great comments, and we hope to see you around really soon. Have a wonderful day. Take care.